And he says he has a dog that can sing the happy birthday song. I wish you'd brought your dog tonight.
One by one, 13 celebrated teachers stood beneath the glittering chandeliers of Martin's Crosswinds to listen as their praises were sung, their careers extolled, and their nerves put on edge as they, along with their families and friends, anxiously awaited the decision on who among them would be chosen as Prince George's County's newest Teacher of the Year.
You're the lucky 13 tonight because as representatives of all of the teachers and the great teaching profession in which we work, the children in our schools and the folks in our community are the ones that are lucky because of you. They're lucky to have you.
Before the revelation of the 2016 winner, the reigning Teacher of the Year, Renee Roth, reflected on the surprising impact she had on policymakers when talking about the profession.
Good to see so many of I have to admit that prior to this year, I was of the mindset that teaching was overlooked, underrated, and a much maligned profession. Nobody understands what we do every day in the classroom. How can people sitting in offices tell me what my children need? But this year, through the interactions with people who are involved with our children's lives in different aspects, such as some politicians, institutes of higher learning, different associations, I've learned they really do want to make educational decisions in the best interest of children. Teachers of the Year are voices for their school systems. People really will listen to you and value what you say.
Finally, with the 4 finalists and the audience holding their breath, the decision came on who would be Renee Roth's successor.
The 2016 Prince George's County Teacher of the Year is Amanda Espina.
Overwhelmed at her selection, art teacher Amanda Espina admitted that though her new public role might be a challenge, she was more than ready for her voice to be heard.
I want to begin by saying that I am extremely honored, as well as shocked and overwhelmed at being named Teacher of the Year. Public speaking is not at the top of my list of strengths, but I think that will have to change.
Amanda's success at the county level follows 10 years of acclaim at Benjamin Falloy Creative and Performing Arts Academy, where everyone acknowledges that Miss Espina not only teaches art, but makes an art of teaching.
Instead of mixing the white in to make a lighter tint, you want to keep the brightness. So I think if you add the yellow into, and so it's making a lighter green, but it's still really bright and energetic, right?
Showing students how to mix colors to bring a picture to life comes easily to Benjamin Falloy art teacher Amanda Espina, who is herself a vivid palette of poise and professionalism. In her studio, filled with middle school art majors, all intently concentrating on self-portraits, Miss Espina gently critiques and commends youngsters who know she has not just their easels, but their best interests at heart.
So if you go along the edge and create that shadow that you kind of had envisioned here, right? That's going to make the hood pop out even more, and it doesn't become this kind of lost, confusing mass, but having those deeper values are really what's going to create the interest in the hood and make it a little more realistic.
She basically taught me how to use a paintbrush because I was not always as good as I think I am now. Mrs. Spina is the best art teacher I've had. She's that unique combination of being hardworking and relaxed at the same time, so you're never uncomfortable when you're in her room.
She taught me a lot about color because before it was just, my color was kind of just like flat, like full on flat. There was no value, there was no like lot of 3D-ish. And so she taught me about values, shading, lighting, and that just really impacted me a lot.
If Amanda Espina loves art and teaching, and she does both, it is no surprise. For this graduate of Charles County Public Schools who has a master's certificate in art from the University of Maryland had her epiphany in junior high, when at the suggestion of Miss Davies, her art teacher, she entered a logo design contest and won.
I had a really good art teacher in both middle school and high school. She actually transitioned and transferred to the high school that I went to, so I had same teacher from middle throughout high. And just having that constant kind of mentor was something that I found really inspiring.
An accomplished artist in her own right, Miss Ospina has been teaching in Prince George's County Public Schools for 10 years, impressing colleagues and supervisors all along the way.
I remember in particular there was a cardboard project that she did with some of her 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students. Without knowing who did the self-portrait cut out of cardboard, I could tell exactly who each and every one of the 7th and 8th grade students were that made those. It was absolutely astonishing. On a weekly basis, we get art from all over the county that's sent to Amanda for her to organize, for her to collect, and then for her to build the art shows for the county. She's instrumental in every single county art show that we have. On top of that, many of our students go on to win medals. Many of our students go on to win first place, second place, honorable mention, best in show. She's impacting not just the students at Benjamin Falloy, but the art students all across the county.
She is the epitome of what it takes to really teach this generation of students, this generation of students with the new trends, and she herself is trend-setting. Just like with any of the arts, when you teach from your heart, it is an art within itself. And so I personally believe that Mrs. Ospina is a walking piece of art that is inspiring to everyone that, you know, comes into her into her presence.
Would you have a child of yours in her class?
I have had a child of mine in her class. It was great. She pushes when she needs to, and when she needs to pull back and kind of be a nurturer, she's able to do that as well. The very calm manner of speaking, you know, but yet she has the discipline that she needs to run a class. So yeah, I would, again, if there were more children.
Dazzling as her students' work is at the county art shows, witness student Samantha Manigal's clever cardboard self-portrait. Miss Ospina is, as all great teachers are, far more than a cardboard cutout. For when it comes to the art of handling the many issues bedeviling middle schoolers, Amanda's empathy is on permanent exhibit.
I can definitely trust her with like some personal stuff because a while ago I had a little bit of trouble here in school and I was really freaked out, and so she took the time, even though she probably didn't need to and she probably had something other to do. She took the time to help me calm down, help me just get like better, and it was really, really nice of her.
You'll never forget that, will you?
No one's ever done that for me.
I think it's important for a teacher to get to know their students and be a part of their life. You're who they depend on for so many different things, not just the lesson plans that are in the book, or you know, the concepts and the standards that you're teaching them, but really how to interact with their peers, how you know, the decisions they make affect their life, not just in the classroom, but in everything that they do.
That's art teacher Amanda Ospina. Humble, deferential, proud of her students, and amazingly, for all the colors swirling in her classroom, there's not a drop of paint on her clothes or her hair. For TV 96 and 38, this is Dave Zarin.